Now, Cgtn, if I pronounce that correctly, the fourth row, please.
Cgtn. Mr. President, you've reiterated your readiness for peace talks with Russia. We know that UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is visiting Moscow and Kyiv. We also noticed some reports talking about the US and its allies have centered on the weapons, how to ship the weapons to your country. But at the same time, we know that Moscow thinks that your continuous appeal for military support from NATO countries would not be helpful for the negotiations. Can you comment on that? Thanks.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat the beginning of your question?
The start of it.
From the very beginning, if you can.
Sure, of course. I think you were talking about your readiness for peace talks with Russia. We know that UN Secretary General is coming to Moscow and Kyiv to promote the ceasefire or peace. At the same time, we know some reports talking about the US, its allies, have centered on weapons, how to ship the weapons to your country. And Moscow thinks that your continuous appeal for military support from NATO countries is adding fuel to the fire and can be seen as a deterrent to negotiations. Can you comment on this? Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for this question. First of all, we'll be welcoming the Secretary General, who will arrive to Kyiv. We'll have negotiations. I believe that we have made a lot of steps to change even his position, to have his position being reinforced with regards to the support to Ukraine. I had a number of personal meetings with him, and I told him that you can't have a balance in between of your relations with Ukraine and Russia. We expect 100% support from the Secretary General of UN, because we are the righteous. It is on our territory that the war is coming. If the Secretary General of the UN will have a time, he would definitely need to visit some of these settlements where the tortures were happening, where our people were being killed. And only then the Secretary General would need to find the time to be spent in Moscow. I believe that it's more important to understand what is happening in Ukraine in order to have all the arguments while having conversations in Moscow. Because if you simply arrive to Kyiv just to talk, this is not enough. I believe that first and foremost, one would need to understand what is happening in Kyiv. That's why many leaders, both the Chancellor of Austria, I always suggested them, whenever they would be going to Moscow, they would need to first come to Kyiv, if that's not about political tourism, but if that's about the support, the true support. And maybe if he would be able to see that, then his points with regards to Russia and Ukraine would be more reinforced. Speaking about the supply of weapons to Ukraine, we are definitely not interested in the thoughts of Russian Federation. In the beginning of the war, they also supplied this. You remember the beginning of their aggression, they were on the retreat and they left a lot of tanks behind themselves, so I'm grateful for them to that. Now, and there, please, somewhere in